parents. You might love them or you might hate them, but at least they never forced you to stay outside all night as a garden gnome or take you on a camping trip and then shoot you in your leg because they were drunk, unless that did happen to you. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though, just saying. Today we're going to be looking at even more of the worst parents in cartoon history. And you know me, I'm not going to hold back on nobody, so make sure you watch to the end. And I got a Patreon now where I'm dropping videos early, so if you want that, go tune in, check it out, link in the description. And without further ado, let's shame these drawings for their actions. Bitch ass parents number 1.
Thanks. I'll handle it.
You're not gonna hit him, are you, Mr. Puppington?
Oh, Doey. God wants us to beat you kids when you're bad.
He does?
Yes.
Why?
Because.
Now, I had never watched an episode of Moral Orel before y'all told me about it, and y'all wouldn't stop talking about how terrible the parents from that show were. So let's see if we gotta serve some hot justice, or if y'all are just being crybabies. Subscribe. Now, the mom don't do much wrong but be very, very, very irresponsible. Yes, this is the fault of both parents, but I'm only addressing the mom right now because Clay Puppington made me sick to my stomach when I was watching this show. More on that later, but anyways, the family's on the way to church and Shapey is sitting in the back seat jumping into the roof smacking his head on the ceiling like a fucking Dunder Mifflin. And Orel, being more responsible than the parents, tells his dumb ass to stop.
Behave, Shapey. We're going to church. Yeah!
Orel, leave your little brother alone.
Or maybe you wouldn't have to bother him if you was a parent. That's the reason he looked like a fucking football now. Stewie taught us this lesson and you did nothing with it. He's sitting right beside her shoving sewing needles into his eyes. He's hugging up on a grown ass man.
It looks like everybody wants a piece of me lately.
This next one is also irresponsible, but it's gotta get its own mention. She didn't realize that her son was missing. One night they have this other family over for dinner and they also have a dumbass kid named Block. The two dads start arguing about religion and shit get funky like some stank dookie. And throughout all the commotion, their son slips out with the other family. And they got the other family's son, so it's like some swap-a-roo shit. He went missing in season 2, episode 8, and they didn't go to retrieve him until season 3, episode 1. That shit is so dotty knockers. They don't even look that similar. Look at this. And she does end up taking in both of the kids, but she didn't do it out of the kindness of her heart. She did it because she want more challenge in her life. And I almost forgot to mention that Clay Puppington watched them take his son and he just didn't give a damn. This bitch ass nigga gonna shrug his shoulders and walk back in the house. And if you don't think that's dotty knockers, then just wait till you hear this. They let their son get addicted to rugs because they didn't check on him. Orel decides to get a little day job so he can stack up the jigadongies. On his way home from work, he sees this shady dude in the alleyway, and because Orel thinks it's what God wants, he gives him the money that he made at work today.
Oh, you want to give this to me? Here, take the
candy. So because Orel gave him some money, the guy decides to sell Orel some of that Oscar de la Hoya special. Orel takes the shit home and literally tells his parents about the situation and they do nothing about it.
I made a lot of money. I gave it all to a homeless man. He gave me something for the money, so I kind of helped him out by letting him sell me some stuff. Oh, I'm gonna go use it right now.
And because his parents didn't hit a simple, hey son, let me make sure the homeless man didn't sell anything weird to you, Orel ends up getting addicted to rugs and going back to see that dude every single day in that weird back alley. Even when it's something obviously wrong, his parents just look at him like they're stupid. Even Shapey can tell something's wrong and he shoves sewing needles in his eyes.
But wait! There's more!
It's time to talk about Clay Puppington. Now earlier I said that Clay Puppington made me sick to my stomach, and that was because of one thing. The camping trip episode. This entire episode has everything you need to say that he's one of the worst parents in cartoon history. This shit made me uncomfortable. It wasn't funny, there was no music in the background or anything, it was just really dark. So what happened in this episode that was so bad? Well, to start off, he shoots a dog for no reason in front of his son.
Why, I'm gonna shoot that rabbit, of course.
Dad, that's not a rabbit, it's someone's hunting dog.
Nature's rabbits.
He then proceeds to eat said dog in front of Orel.
Dad, I'm hungry.
He then goes on a drunken rant which scares Orel.
I hate myself. Why do you quit working on me?
She always fools me, Orel.
I'll make things better, dear. Drink me, put me inside you, I'm great. And she chokes me just like every other whore out there.
He then begins to degrade Orel and disregard his feelings about him being drunk.
Nothing but whine like a lady in a flowery sissy skirt and attractive high heels about my drinking since we got here.
It's because you become a bad person when you drink.
Oh, I do I?
This a type of dad where like you so disappointed in the nigga, like you would actually just put hands on him while he drunk, just slap the shit out of him.
He then proceeds to shoot his son in the leg and blame it on him.
Boner.
Don't butt me!
Dad,
Orel, what have you done?
I ain't gonna lie, bruh. My dad shoot me, bruh. He gonna have to die. Like, as soon as I recover, he gonna literally have to die. I ain't gonna lie.
Ain't no, hey son, I'm so sorry. Like, nah.
Yeah, I ain't your son no more.
If y'all want to see how truly dark these episodes are for yourself, go and watch season 2, episode 19 and 20 here on YouTube for free. And to conclude, I think Orel might literally have the worst parents in cartoon and animation history. And not even just because their actions, it's because people like this literally exist in real life. The abuse of these kids in this show is not overly cartoonish like Peter Griffin dragging Meg downstairs with a horse, but the effect of it gets dumbed down because it's claymation. You're not taking it serious. We all have our ups and downs with our parents, but just be grateful that you don't have these two as your parents. Bitch ass parents number 2.
Shit, Dad! You're both drunk pieces of shit! Both of you sit the f down!
Kenny's parents are objectively the worst ones in South Park. It's gonna be super easy to serve justice to these two drunk fucks, so let's get into it. Comment your favorite animal if you made it this far. First of all, they're financially irresponsible. And no, I'm not saying they're bad parents because they're poor, but because they are poor, they shouldn't be buying things like Zaza or Vodka. Since they're already poor, that's money that can be spent on getting their kids some new clothes or getting them something to eat other than frozen waffles. They can't provide basic necessities, but there's always some alcohol in the house. They also just don't supervise their kids. Kenny has died damn near 130 times in South Park. But let's get dark for a second. It's confirmed that every time Kenny dies, he's reborn as a different baby. That means that his parents' terrible supervision caused 126 kids to die. That means all of these Kenny deaths were a different kid dying. You might say it's a stretch, but that means that they're mass murderers. Really think about it. They also got their kids sent to foster care. It's no secret that Kenny's family is a group of dysfunctional rednecks. They always having hootenannies and hoedowns and shit, and during one of their redneck rampages, the police bust in and take the kids.
Down on the ground! Let's go! Let's move!
No, my babies! Don't take my babies!
They take her babies and they put them in this weird ass foster care home. The only thing they're allowed to drink is fucking weak ass Dr. Pepper. They be spraying the kids with Dr. Pepper from a Dr. Pepper hose. And even though it's extremely fucked up, I'm not even gonna lie, this is a way better home. They're also terrible role models. It's implied that Kenny's older brother is a drunk just like his dad.
Bad enough to fight, Meg, you little shit! Yeah, 'cause you're a drunk piece of shit, Dad!
You're both drunk pieces of shit! Both of you sit the f down!
Oh, I wonder where he learned to be a drunk piece of shit from. I really just never understood these two. Kenny's dad blames everyone except himself for his family's poorness. And Kenny's mom would rather keep breeding drunk redneck children than leaving. And it's just little shit that pissed me off about them. Like the fact that he got a fucking chain hanging from his pants but he can't even afford food. To conclude, Kenny's family is just a generic drunken redneck family. Yeah, it's sad, but it's not much more to it than that. And Kenny himself has never really been directly abused. So I guess you could say they're not as bad as other cartoon parents. But by no means are they good parents either. And no child should have to go through this, and I'm sure that the repercussions from all this trauma will affect Kenny when he's older. Bitch ass parents number 3. Let's get this over with because I'm sick of talking about this bald fucking his weak ass family. And he doesn't have cancer. I know my character look like a blue goblin, but I'm not a monster. His parents just shave his head bald every fucking day for some reason. And everybody knows the problem with Caillou's parents. They're enablers. He has temper tantrums about the smallest things and he don't even get as much as a stern talking to.
Caillou's low testosterone father again indulged Caillou's tantrum, clearly trying to raise a sociopath.
You know it's bad when Family Guy is talking about your show's parents. In my previous video, we talked about how Caillou pinched his little sister Rosie right after she got home from the hospital. And the way his dad reacts should let you know everything you need to.
Why did you do that to Rosie?
This nigga talking about why. So what if Caillou provided you a reason, would it be okay?
I don't know, Dad. I just don't like the way that bitch was looking at me.
I guess that's fair, son. What do you mean why? There's no valid reason on earth to pinch a newborn. And I could go through and find all the examples of them enabling Caillou, but it's useless. It's the same shit every episode with this family.
Rosie smashed the track. It took our cars.
Please give Caillou back his cars.
Like he could have at least told her to not do it again. Don't even get me started on the time that his mom stripped Rosie of a shirt just cause Caillou was being a little whiny bitch about it. And then he didn't even end up wearing the shirt. And when Caillou grows up to be Lex Luthor, all y'all that's in the comments that's like, oh, he's just 4 years old, I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. And to conclude with this bald brat for the final time, I don't see how some people try to defend his behavior just because he's 4. Temper tantrums every once in a while is normal, but Caillou is constantly crying about every single thing. And if his parents keep allowing this shit, Caillou will grow up to be trash, nothing but trash. Hey, but I guess he's just a kid that's 4 and each day he grows some more.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
So apparently Doofenshmirtz got some bitch ass parents. I came here and did an interview with him. Don't mind the shit going on in the background. Doofenshmirtz told me some redonkadonk shit about these two, so we finna serve some hot justice. Comment your favorite drink if you made it this far. First of all, they somehow didn't show up to his birth.
The day of my actual birth, both of my parents failed to show up.
How is that even possible? The mom would have still been doped up to hell and back. Not to mention she would have been in so much pain from pushing Doofenshmirtz out of her wazoo. Look at this crazy ass dome shape. Toucan snout ass nigga. They also forced him to throw his own 5th birthday party.
By the age of 5, I was forced to throw my own surprise party. My closest friends were there. Count Wolfgang, Betty the She-Boar, Rasputin, and the Lice Twins. Okay.
This is really so sad. He had Lice Twins at his 5th birthday party. And he knew their names too. They also forced him to stay outside all night just as a garden gnome. The family's garden gnome got repossessed. So Doofenshmirtz's father made him be the new garden gnome.
From a tender age, my father decided that it would be me. All through the cold night, as the Spitzenhound howled.
But it gets a bit more babonkers than that. They disowned their son and made him be raised by ocelots.
Basically, my parents disowned me. I was being raised by ocelots. The point is...
Now we're gonna quick fire some reasons since there's so many. Disowning him because he wouldn't jump off of a diving board. Naming a dog their only son. And forcing him to wear skirts because they thought they were gonna have a girl. And to conclude, it's no wonder that he grew up to become a supervillain. With a life like this, you can't just become a regular citizen. Anyone who gets raised by ocelots is allowed to become a supervillain in my book. Alright, here we are at the end of another short ass video. The reason for this is time. I just don't have enough of it, but if y'all keep showing love, I'll be able to do YouTube full time and then I can make longer videos. But I'm just gonna go ahead and announce it here. I'm gonna be taking like a 2-week break so I can actually have a backlog of longer videos to upload. The Worst Parents will end at part 3. The final part is gonna be like 20 minutes or something, and I'm gonna just talk about like every single parent that y'all are talking about. I see every comment, I promise. The Beats is by Racha. The Discord and Patreon is in the description. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love each and every one of y'all, and also thank you for almost 10,000 subscribers. See y'all in the next one.